Welcome to today's practice session at the Sepang International Circuit. We're approximately 60 kilometers south of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. This 5.5 kilometer track provides all of the things that a racing driver could want of a circuit. So after the first race, how do you think this season will compare to previous years?
Well, I hope that we're in for a fantastic season. The Mercedes team have certainly come out of pre-season testing the strongest, which is all well and good, but it's the racing where the pace really counts. It's always difficult to predict, therefore, who's going to come out on top.
The new regulations for this year say goodbye to the somewhat unique nose designs that we saw on the 2014 cars.
The 2014 changes were brought in to promote safety, but I don't think it was anticipated how the teams would exploit the regulations. This year, those regulations have been tightened up to give some more traditional look to the noses on the 2015 cars.
Hello guys and welcome back to another F1 2015 career mode. We're here this time at the Malaysian Grand Prix for round 2 of this season. Last time out, going to give you a couple of seconds just to go look at that video if you haven't already done so. Okay, so last time out in Australia we had an absolute disaster of a race. Only managing to complete about half of it, I believe. We had a collision with Felipe Massa, put us into the wall, and then when we tried to let Lewis Hamilton back through because he was lapping us, he went straight into the back of us, put us into the wall again, and we lost our front wheel. So that put us out of the race, meaning we did not complete and we got 0 points in Australia. So this time out in Malaysia, looking to do a much better job than last time. Wouldn't be too hard to do because we got 0 points. So we're hoping for points this time, and we're hoping for a good sort of position to start to challenge for the championship. So as per usual, nothing happened in practice. Let's just have a look at the results and head into qualifying.
Lewis Hamilton has recorded the fastest time of the day in today's practice session. The British driver will be mightily pleased with just how well his car performed. And welcome to Malaysia as we head into the all-important qualifying session. The drivers are raring to go, and we're just waiting for the lights to go green to signify the start of the qualifying hour. Last year we saw a wonderful race here in Malaysia, and I'm expecting another fascinating weekend to come here in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, there are at least 3 or 4 other drivers that could be strong contenders for a front row start tomorrow. So it's difficult to predict who will come out on top, but it's certainly going to be an exciting qualifying session today.
So here we go, qualifying for the Malaysian Grand Prix, and as you can see we're already in Q3. Getting through into Q3 was quite easy, just like it was in the Australian Grand Prix. So just going to skip all that and we're going to get straight into the end of a lap of this Q3 session. So here we go, coming around the final corner now to set the time of our first lap in this qualifying session. It's going to be about 1:39. Yes, so 1:39.7. Obviously pole position at the moment, but that's because there hasn't been any other drivers that have set a lap so far in this Q3. So we're just going to have to wait and see what time of laps they set. So there we go, they've set all their laps now. We're down in P3 at the moment, but we're coming round the final corner to set our final lap of this qualifying session. What sort of time will it be? Coming around the final corner, opening up the DRS, and then coming down to cross the line. And it's pole. It's pole position. It's our first pole position of this career mode. That's a fantastic result for us as Daniil Kvyat, and we'll be starting the Malaysian Grand Prix from the front of the grid.
Daniil Kvyat has been awesome today, and he's been rewarded with P1 and pole for the race tomorrow.
Definitely. He really has pushed himself and the car to the limits today, and he was duly rewarded. It was such a wonderful result.
So there we go, our first pole position in this career mode, and we'll be hoping to capitalise that and turn that into our first win this season. Obviously we got a win last season in Belgium, but we're hoping to get our first win this season. Nico Rosberg will start the grid next to us in second, with Kimi Räikkönen in third. His fellow Finn Valtteri Bottas is in fourth, with Sebastian Vettel fifth. Daniel Ricciardo, our teammate, will start the race in sixth, with Lewis Hamilton seventh. Roman Grosjean is in 8th, Nico Hülkenberg 9th, Fernando Alonso will start the race in 10th. Let's head over to the race for the Malaysian Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome from Sepang, where the cars and drivers are getting ready to start the Malaysia Grand Prix. Daniil Kvyat isn't known for letting his guard down. He's a confident young man, but sometimes difficult to read. Yet you could tell in his interviews after qualifying yesterday that he thinks victory is on the cards today. Considering he beat everyone to pole, well, you wouldn't want to bet against him realising his dream.
When we spoke to him earlier, he felt that this was a great opportunity to go on and win, but he knows he still has plenty of work to do. Anything can happen in the race, so you have to keep your feet on the ground until you take the checkered flag.
Nico Rosberg looks to have the upper hand on Lewis Hamilton this weekend. But what can Lewis do today in the Grand Prix to finish ahead of his teammates?
Lewis is always confident he can win, but he'll know he's got a tough fight in his hands today. I'm sure he would have looked at the telemetry last night to see where Nico was faster, but if he can manage his tyres better today, I'm sure that will give him a chance of victory.
It's race day here at the Malaysian Grand Prix, starting from P1 on the grid, a fantastic result in qualifying. Let's have a look at the race strategy for today's race. So, starting on the option tyres, only 2 stops this time. Last time out in Australia, it was a 3-stop strategy, but this time it's only a 2-stop. Pitting for the options on lap 16, and then the primes on lap 34. So let's get it underway with the race. So here we go, starting in P1. 5 lights. And away we go for the Malaysian Grand Prix and getting off to a fairly awful start with Nico Rosberg already getting past us on the left. Yes, there he goes. Valtteri Bottas behind us as well, going past. And there's Kimi Raikkonen on our right. So going down into turn 1, we have 2 drivers on left and right. We go and give Nico Rosberg just a little tap, but not enough to send him off or give us damage. He's now on our inside, so we'll have to give him room. Kimi Raikkonen gets up into the lead of this Grand Prix, but we are firmly in second now. So here we go, trying to catch up to Kimi Raikkonen to regain the lead of this Malaysian Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg behind us, looking at a move, but he's just going to settle behind us for now. We're still behind Kimi Raikkonen, so we'll be looking to get past him. We were very good in this section last year out in the 2014 season. Will we be good here again? Looks like we are. Gaining quite a bit on Kimi, right behind him now in the second part, but caught up way too much, way too early, and not enough to get round him. So we tapped him in the back, but not enough to give us damage. Nico Rosberg still behind us. Looks like he's dropped off quite a bit, but we are right behind Kimi Raikkonen now. Trying to look for a move round this hairpin. No, we're not going to try it. We do take a later turn in to try and the cut back on him. We do get a better exit, but round the corner on the traction, he gets a better exit and better drive out of the corner there. Now locking up just a tad into that, but we've set the fastest sector 2 of this race so far to put us firmly on the back of Kimi Raikkonen. Now going in towards this left-hander, still behind Kimi Raikkonen. Maybe have a look up the right inside of this corner. No, we don't. We just back out of it, settle behind him for now, and try and get the slipstream down this straight. 1 corner separates us before the end of lap 1, and we are still behind Kimi Raikkonen. Nico Rosberg behind us in 3rd position, but he looks like he's dropped off quite a bit in this lap. Now going around this final hairpin, the final corner of this lap. Right behind Kimi Raikkonen, no DRS of course, because that does not get activated until lap 3. And looks like Kimi Raikkonen is getting away with us with the faster straight line speed of that Ferrari. The Red Bull, very much like the Toro Rosso, has got a lot of good downforce in it, but not very good through the straights. It suffers quite a lot in straight line speed. We're trying to cut back here now on Kimi Raikkonen. Will it work? Doesn't look like it has. Looks like he is still managing to drive away from us with that straight line speed, but getting into the next couple of corners, that's where we are quickest, setting the fastest sector 1 time at the moment, as we're going to look for up the inside of Kimi Raikkonen on the exit. We lose the back end just a tad. Now try to go around the outside of this first corner. No, we don't. We do catch up quite a lot to Kimi Raikkonen, going right up behind him. Now going around the outside of the second part of that corner, and then that's us up into the lead of this Malaysian Grand Prix. Fantastic move round the outside of that second part of the corner. Kimi Raikkonen comes back at us there on the double right-hander, but not enough to get back up into P1. So we are in 1st place for this Malaysian Grand Prix. It's only taken 2 laps to do that. And Kimi Raikkonen giving us a little tap going in towards that hairpin, but he's still remaining behind us as we cut ahead to the end of lap 2 now. Locking up and going very wide into the final corner. That's going to allow Kimi Raikkonen back pass up the inside, but we will get a better drive out of the corner. But we do have to back out of it as he did squeeze us on the exit. Now Nico Rosberg is right behind us. Valtteri Bottas, it's the fastest lap of the race so far, with Nico Rosberg now going up our inside. We're going to get pinned here. We won't be able to make an overtake, but we are going to settle behind. We went a little bit too wide though. That's going to allow Valtteri Bottas up the inside, but we will have the inside of the second corner. DRS is now enabled as it's turn 3, so we're going to have to wait till the end of the lap until we can use that, as Nico Rosberg is now driving away from us. But will we be able to get round him like we did to Kimi Raikkonen in the previous lap? Going round turn 3 now. Nothing there. Maybe round turn 4. Nope, looks like Nico Rosberg just got away from us, but we are going to try round the outside. No, we don't. We're just a little bit too far. Maybe we get a better exit, moving up to the inside of this double right-hander. That's fantastic if we can make the move done here. Yes, we do. Up into P2 of this Grand Prix. An absolute fantastic move there, up the inside of Nico Rosberg in the double right-hander. And that is us up into P2. Now right behind Kimi Räikkönen yet again. Already got past him once this race, but we have to do it again after we made a mistake on the end of lap 2. Going around this right-hander, nothing there. We're still trying to look for a gap to get past Kimi Räikkönen. Going through this left, then right-hander for last couple of corners of lap 3. Kimi Räikkönen still quite a bit ahead of us, so we won't be able to make a move into these corners, but we will get DRS off him. We're surely a second behind him. Yes, we are. So we open up the DRS, heading down towards the final corner of this lap, but it's still with DRS. We can't keep up with Kimi Räikkönen under the straight line speed. Going in towards this left-hander now. Caught up quite a bit under braking, but he will get a better drive. We do have DRS yet again in the second DRS zone. And Kimi Räikkönen sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That's why we can't keep up with him. He set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And under braking into turn 1, we're going to look around the outside of Kimi Räikkönen. No, we don't. He manages to hold us off. Now going in towards this left-hander. And we still can't get a move there, even though we try the cut back on him. But that puts us only onto the grass. And that's going to lose us a lot of time on drive up into towards turn 3. Now going in towards this right-hander. Kimi Räikkönen still quite a bit ahead of us. We have got a fantastic exit out of that corner to put us right behind Kimi Räikkönen and set us up for an overtake round this left-hander maybe. Going round the outside. No, we don't. Maybe up the inside. Yes, we do. Up the inside of that right-hander. And that's us back into the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Fantastic move there. And a nice place to be for this race. Kimi Räikkönen down in second position, but will he be looking to come back at us in the next couple of corners? No, he doesn't, as we cut ahead to the end of lap 4. Going in towards this right-hander. Kimi Räikkönen still quite a bit behind us as we do manage to run wide. That's going to lose us a lot of time on drive out of that corner. As Kimi Räikkönen has the DRS open, much greater straight line speed. He's going to go up the inside towards the final corner, and that's him back up into the lead of this Grand Prix. But under braking, we catch up quite a bit. Maybe try the cutback move on him. Yes, we do. Now right behind Kimi Räikkönen, we will get DRS. Lose the back end just a tad, but with DRS, we are managing to pull him back in. We're right behind Kimi Räikkönen now. Look how close we are. Now the slipstream's starting to come into effect. We're getting the straight line speed. We're going to pull out to the right, take the inside line into turn 1. We're back up into P1. Kimi Räikkönen gets out of the way. We are taking this race win. As we're going round turn 2 now. Kimi Räikkönen still behind us. As we cut ahead to the end of lap 6. Kimi Räikkönen and now Nico Rosberg has managed to catch up to us after me and Kimi have been battling. That's allowed Nico Rosberg to get right onto the back of this battle. As Kimi Räikkönen has the DRS open, he's going to go for a move up the inside of turn 1. We're not going to fight him there, as we're going to just settle behind, try get him back into that section where we do so well. Round turn 4 and 5, I believe. As Nico Rosberg is now right behind us. Not trying the cutback this time because Nico Rosberg was so close. We don't want to give him room to overtake us on the inside. As our engineer tells us that the race is going to remain dry for the time being. So that's pretty good. We would like to see a dry race and try and see out and try and get the race win, as we're right behind Kimi Räikkönen going in towards this left. Maybe going up the inside like we did earlier on the right. Yes, we do. Another easy move there. We're so good through those couple of corners. I think it's just because of the downforce of the Red Bull, and that's us back up into the lead of this Grand Prix. Putting the revs quite a lot, accidentally going down into towards third gear there, so meaning that we revved the car quite a bit, but not enough for Kimi Räikkönen to catch up. But he is catching up and he's gaining, and he's gone for the overtake on the end of lap 7 with the DRS, then brake quite a bit into the final corner. So we're going to go back up the inside, but he will get the slipstream on us yet again. We don't get DRS on him, so he does get DRS on us yet again. He's going to go up the outside of towards turn 1, and Nico Rosberg as well going up our left. So all three of us fighting for first in this Grand Prix. Now we're going to go back up the inside of turn 1. We touch with Nico Rosberg. We give him a little nudge. Not enough for damage or to put him off the racing line. He's back up into P1. As Kimi Räikkönen maybe up the inside. We give him a little touch. He touches our back wheel, and it nearly puts him out off the racetrack. I think that might have unsettled our car as well, and that's allowed us to come off the back of Nico Rosberg. But we are right behind him now as we go up the inside towards the penultimate corner now. On lap 8, will we make the move stick? Yes, we do, but Nico Rosberg will be right behind us. I think we do have DRS. Yes, we do. We have DRS on Nico Rosberg. Will he have the slipstream to catch up? Doesn't look like it. We're looking in the mirrors and it just looks like he's a bit too far behind, but maybe in towards this next corner and the next straight, he might be able to catch us up as he's now right behind us. We're going to try and get a good drive out of this corner and try and get away from Nico Rosberg. He is still there. He is gaining ever so slightly. Now he's coming back at us. You can see him in our wing mirrors. And there is Nico Rosberg overtaking us for the lead of this Grand Prix on lap 9. We're going to try and settle behind in turn 1 and then try and follow him in turn 2 and 3 to try and set up a move in turn 4 and 5. As we give him a little nudge, that's going to allow him to slow down, but not enough for us to make the move on him. As we cut ahead to the end of lap 9, now going through this left-hander where we made the move last time, up the inside yet again. Will we try it? We're trying it. We're side by side with Nico Rosberg. He gives us the room, and that's us back up into P1. But Nico Rosberg will get better drive out that corner for taking the normal racing line, and that's him back up into P1. We now have Kimi Räikkönen right behind us trying for second place. And now he's going to battle Nico Rosberg for the lead. No, he's not, as we're just going to have to back out of it, stay around the outside of the final corner of this lap. And that's us back up into P2. But now we have DRS on Nico Rosberg. Will we go for a move in towards turn 1? Doesn't look like we've got the straight line speed as Kimi Räikkönen goes up the inside. And Sebastian Vettel is now right behind us. Will he go for a move? No, he doesn't, as we go round the outside of Kimi Räikkönen, but put it way too wide on the corner. We've gone way too deep, and that's allowed Kimi Räikkönen to come back up the outside of us. But we are back into P2, so Kimi Räikkönen is not getting past there. We need to catch up to Nico Rosberg to try and get the lead of this Grand Prix back. Kimi Räikkönen now comes up the inside with the straightest speed of that Ferrari car. And now he's up the inside of turn 3, going round the outside. Can we make the move stick? Would be absolutely fantastic if we do. I think we have, as we're going to get the inside for this left-hander where we are so fast anyway. Yes, we do. Up into P2 yet again. Battling so far this Grand Prix has been absolutely amazing. Such good battling between me and the AI drivers. It's been, I can't even describe how good it's been because there's just so many overtakes going on. So we're going up the inside towards the penultimate corner yet again. We've got past Nico Rosberg, but he's going to get us on the straight surely. No, he's not. As you look in the mirrors, he's way too far behind. As we look back there, Nico Rosberg lost so much time on the exit. As we now cut ahead to end lap 11 and start lap 12. Nico Rosberg, will he be coming back at us? Yes, he is. He's going to try and go up the inside towards the first corner. Yes, he's done. He's got the move stuck before he's even got there, thanks to the straight line speed of that Mercedes and the DRS. As we're now tucking right behind Nico Rosberg, going in towards this left-hander. Nothing there as we lose the back end ever so slightly, fighting the car on the exit. That allows Nico Rosberg just to get away from us. Sebastian Vettel now is the driver in 3rd position, as we're going to go up the inside towards turn 3. We're still right behind Nico Rosberg. So can we get a move around this left-right corner combination? Looks like we've gained quite a lot of it on him in the first one. Now maybe going around the outside on the second one. He's holding position, but with the better drive out that corner. No, Nico Rosberg gets a better drive as we try around the outside. Nico Rosberg doesn't give us the room. He's put us into a spin. That's another collision with Nico Rosberg. If you remember back in Brazil in the first season, Nico Rosberg again didn't give us a room there. He's failed to do that again, and that has cost us quite a lot of positions as we've gone down in towards 7th place, right behind Felipe Massa and this train that is following Sebastian Vettel at the moment. As we cut ahead to the start of lap 13, we've got DRS on Felipe Massa going in towards turn 1. Go very deep, get the move on Felipe Massa, but then collide with Lewis Hamilton. We're going to have to give both those positions back, as that was very much unsportsmanship behaviour. Going up the inside of Felipe Massa and then hitting Lewis Hamilton. Unfortunate for Lewis Hamilton, he did manage to lose a place. And then we're now right behind Lewis Hamilton on lap 13. But not enough to overtake there. Maybe try it around the outside or inside of this next corner. Yes, we do. We're going to try the inside. Running down towards the hairpin. Lewis Hamilton with a better straight line speed in that Mercedes manages to pull away. But now will we go up the inside of this hairpin? Yes, we do. Lewis Hamilton gives us the room. And that's us up into P6. Fighting the car on the exit of the corner. But we still managed to make the move stick as we cut ahead to the end of lap 13. Daniil Ricciardo pits from P4, I think it was. So he's now down behind this train of cars. So he's making an early pit stop, I believe 3 laps earlier than the scheduled pit stop. I don't know if he'll have to make a free stopper then. But Lewis Hamilton re-overtakes us for 5th position in this Grand Prix. So we're going to go up the inside of turn 1. Getting very close with Lewis Hamilton there. Here now get the inside of turn 2. And he actually collides with our rear wheel. I believe I gave him enough room. Hopefully we'll see a replay of what happened. But I do believe I gave him enough room. So here we go, replay. And he just tags us. I think we did give him enough room. Hopefully we get an onboard shot from Lewis Hamilton. Yes, we do. Yep, I gave him enough room to get around that corner. He wanted to take more. He drifted out just a little bit wide. hit our rear wheel and put himself into a spin, so we won't have to worry about penalties for ourselves there. So we're going up the inside of 2 drivers into the penultimate corner, and that is a brilliant move. Up the inside of Felipe Massa and Sebastian Vettel. Kimi Räikkönen is the car up next, but now Felipe Massa is getting DRS on us, and so is Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel just gets, no, he does get DRS. I think it's Massa that just got the slipstream. And now going up in towards the final corner of lap 14. We do get the cutback on Sebastian Vettel, lose the car just a little bit. So we're now going to have to tuck back in the slipstream and try and see if we can catch up in towards turn 1. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though, as we cut ahead to lap 15. Still behind Sebastian Vettel. Then it's Felipe Massa in 3rd and Kimi Räikkönen in 2nd. Maybe going up the inside of this right-hander. Yes, we do. Move stuck, and we are up into P4 for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Now Felipe Massa is up next for us, as we tuck right behind him, getting very close and very lucky not to collide with him there, because we were so close up the back of Felipe Massa. But now we're going for a move on Felipe Massa and Kimi Räikkönen into the penultimate corner, and again another brilliant move. That is another place where we like to make so many moves this race, just like the corner, the left-right corner combination, the penultimate corner. We like to make so many good moves around there, as we have done on the 2 previous laps. But now Felipe Massa has got back past us. We're going to go up the inside of the final corner. Can we make the move stick? Yes, we do for now, as we can see a Ferrari diving into the pit lane. I believe that is Kimi Räikkönen. Or it could, no, I believe it would actually be Sebastian Vettel, as he is the #1 driver. So Sebastian Vettel has come into the pits as Felipe Massa goes back past us. No, it was Kimi Räikkönen. Sebastian Vettel is now getting past us on the left. So Kimi Räikkönen was the driver who pit from 3rd position. And now Sebastian Vettel going up our inside. No, he backs out of the move, and we are right behind Felipe Massa, trying to challenge the 2nd place in this Grand Prix. As you can see on the mini-map, Nico Rosberg has got away from us, as we're going to try and move on Felipe Massa. We've got a good drive out of that corner, going up the inside towards this double right-hander, and we have made that move stick. That was a great move up the inside, to be very brave under braking to go up the inside of Felipe Massa, and we are up into P16. Will he make the move back on us in the left-hander? No, it doesn't. Now in towards sector 3, we've got Felipe Massa right behind us, and this is our scheduled pit stop as we're going in towards. We run deep into that corner. That will allow Felipe Massa to go up the inside, and we do get very close to Felipe Massa. Sebastian Vettel will now try round the outside of this left-hander. We are going to give him room. We back off out of that corner to avoid a collision with Sebastian Vettel, but he backs out of it as well, so we're very lucky there. And now it's lap 16. These tyres have definitely come away from us. They've definitely fallen off the cliff. We're really struggling for grip now. Look at the tyres. They were orange with damage. And now we surely will be coming into the pits, and Sebastian Vettel gets past us with the DRS, as we're going to come into the pit lane following Sebastian Vettel, who is also coming into the pits, but he goes very slowly there. We lose the back end coming into the pit lane, but very luckily not to hit the wall or even miss the pit lane, because that would be a disaster on very worn tyres to have to then do another lap because we missed the pit lane. As we looks like we've got Lewis Hamilton behind us as well. So let's see what the Red Bull boys can do and see if we can jump Sebastian Vettel in the pit stop phase. It's a 2.3 second stop, but Sebastian Vettel still manages to get out ahead of us. We've now gone onto the option tyres yet again. So let's have a look and see what we can do in the next couple of laps and try and get past Sebastian Vettel. As we now come out to the pit lane. We're in P9 at the moment after that first pit stop, but there's a few other drivers that will have to pit again, and there are also some drivers that are trying the primes in the first stop. So a lot of mixed strategies here, as Lewis Hamilton tried up the inside there. No, it was Nico Hülkenberg actually that tried up the inside of turn 2, but we managed to get back around the outside as we're coming ahead to lap 17 and making that same move up the inside of the penultimate corner. Because there's so much room there, it allows 2 drivers to go side by side in towards the entry of that corner. But with the straight line speed, if you go up the inside, the person on the outside gets a better drive out the corner, and that allows them to get back of them down the straight. That's what Sebastian Vettel and all the other drivers have been doing so far this race on us. As we're going to try the cutback move on Sebastian Vettel. We'll get DRS on him, going down towards the first corner, ending lap 17 and starting lap 18 now. As we are right behind Sebastian Vettel in towards this left-right corner combination. Looks like Felipe Massa's come out just in front of us, as we now get the move done on Sebastian Vettel. Maybe get the move done on Felipe Massa up the inside. Will we go for it? Yes, we do. Very late on the brakes. Felipe Massa had to swerve out of the way to avoid collision. And at the end of the day, that's his loss, because he's lost position of 6th place. As we're putting it into standard mixes, Felipe Massa now gets back past us. Will Sebastian Vettel be able to overtake us as well? And even Lewis Hamilton towards this final corner of lap 18. We're right behind Felipe Massa. Look how close we got there. We had to back out of it to avoid contact with Felipe Massa, and that will allow Lewis Hamilton to get a better drive out of the corner on us. as he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Now going up towards our right, and then he'll get the inside of turn 1. As we're going round the outside of Lewis Hamilton, maybe even round on Felipe Massa, as it sounded like there was a collision. I believe it was between the Ferrari and the Mercedes, as we are right behind Felipe Massa through turn 2, and it looks like the Mercedes and the Ferrari got very close there. As Lewis Hamilton now trying back up the inside of turn 3, but he backs out of it. He thinks better of going for a move there. Right behind Felipe Massa now on the start of lap 19. Going through this left-hander, then the right, and we've made the move stick. We are up into P6. That's a great move there on Felipe Massa, and that's us back up into P6. Hunting down Nico Rosberg, who is in P5 at the moment. I believe the drivers ahead of him are drivers who have not pit yet. So I believe that's like Kimi Raikkonen, as I did see earlier. He was on the prime tyres from the beginning. So he is one driver who's starting on the primes, and he has not pit yet, so he is up probably in the lead of this Grand Prix. So we've set the fastest second sector time as we lose the back end on the curb there, and that allows Felipe Massa to get back past us. So we're down into P7, but will we be able to go up the inside of this corner like we have done so many times this race? Yes, we do. We're trying the move on Felipe Massa, braking so much later than him. And we are up into P6, but we're going to have to give him the room on the outside. The better drive from the Williams. And then the Mercedes now getting past on the left. Will the Ferrari or Sebastian Vettel try as well? No, he's going around the right. He's going to have the outside of the final corner. But we're going up the inside of all these drivers. Up the inside towards the final corner of the lap. And that's a great move there. But we are going to have to fight down this start-finish straight. As Lewis Hamilton will try to get past us. And Felipe Massa. I believe there was a driver coming into the pit lane, and it looked like it was Kimi Raikkonen, so we jumped a place there as we go up the inside of Felipe Massa. We'll have the outside of turn 2, but looks like we've got the move stuck already before we even get there. Now we're right behind Lewis Hamilton for P5. Going down towards turn 3, Lewis Hamilton gets away from us yet again as we cut ahead to lap 20 now. As Felipe Massa tries it up our inside of the final corner, and we are getting a better drive out of the corner for once, and we managed to get the move stuck on Felipe Massa just through the drive out that corner. And with the Williams and the Ferrari battling down towards turn 1, we're going to take the inside line this time. Sebastian Vettel now trying it round the outside. Not enough room for Felipe Massa to go up the inside because we were already taking that line. And now Sebastian Vettel right behind us. He's going to try the cutback move on us. No, he's not, as he's just lost quite a bit of time in towards that hairpin. As it looks like another driver is coming to the pits. It looks like it's Roman Grosjean actually in P5, so we're going to go up into P5. Lewis Hamilton is shot away in P4. Sebastian Vettel now goes for an overtake with the DRS. Looks like Felipe Massa, who was behind us, has shot off quite a bit. So we're going to try and move on Sebastian Vettel. Maybe trying the cutback move here. Yes, we do. Trying the cutback move on Sebastian Vettel and getting very close to the back of him, but not enough to get the move there, as we are still behind Sebastian Vettel on the end of lap 2. So many battles so far this race. It looks like there's been a battle almost every single lap this race, as we get back past Sebastian Vettel in the penultimate corner there, but he will get the DRS on us. Just looking at Sebastian Vettel in our mirrors. He's going to pull it over to the left, take the inside of the final corner. Will he back out of it? No, he doesn't. We have to give him the room as he is on our inside. We get a better drive out of that corner on the outside of the track, and we are back up into P5. Lewis Hamilton is the driver up next. It's actually our teammate Daniil Ricciardo who leads the Grand Prix after pitting on lap 13. He leads the Grand Prix at the moment, and he's holding quite a few drivers up as Sebastian Vettel goes up our inside of turn 1, but he doesn't make the move stick there, so he's going to try round in turn 2. No, he doesn't, and we remain in P5 for the time being. We just have to wait till the next lap, as it looks like Sebastian Vettel has actually dropped off quite a bit from us as we've gone wide in towards the penultimate corner, a place where we've made so many good moves there, and we've run wide yet again. And Sebastian Vettel is right on our tail. He's going to move over to the right, and he's going to get the move done very early on with that DRS. We're going to have to try and tuck back and get as much slipstream as we can, but it's not going to be enough to try and catch up to him. We do catch up just a little bit under braking there. Now going into this left-hander right behind Sebastian Vettel as we get the DRS on him. As we can now see, Felipe Massa is catching up to us thanks to me and Vettel battling quite hard over the last couple of laps. As we're going to try and make a move around the outside of turn 1. No, we don't. We run very wide. Maybe try the cutback move on turn 2. It hasn't worked so far, but you never know. It might work now. As we're just not close enough, and we actually run onto the grass. That's going to lose us time there. as we cut ahead to lap 24, right behind Sebastian Vettel. Maybe try and round the outside, and that is a brilliant move. Round the outside out of literally nowhere. Sebastian Vettel looked like he had the inside line, but somehow under exit, we had a fantastic drive out of that corner and made a brilliant move. Round the outside into the hairpin on Sebastian Vettel to put us up into P5. Now, will he be able to get back past us though, where he's done so many times? We run wide, we get on the curb, but not enough to run us wide over it. So that's very lucky for us there not to lose so much time to Sebastian Vettel, but he is going to get the DRS on us. He's not in our slipstream. He's taking the inside line in towards the final corner. Now he goes up the inside. We're going to have to give him the room. There he is, but will we get a good drive out of this corner to get back past him? Looks like we have. No, we haven't. We're side by side with Sebastian Vettel, and now he's just going to tuck behind us, get the slipstream and the DRS. Going in towards turn 1. Sebastian Vettel is on our left, and we're going to take the inside towards turn 1. Yes, we do. We get the inside line, but we run it very deep into turn 2. Sebastian Vettel maybe try the cutback move on us. Yes, he does, but it's not enough to get back past us. We're going to remain in P5 as we cut ahead to the start of lap 26 now. Sebastian Vettel now going back past us on our left. Will we try and move up the inside into turn 1? We try under braking, but we're just not close enough as we're going in towards this right-hander. Now try the cutback on turn 2. A big cutback there on Sebastian Vettel going up the inside. We touch with Sebastian Vettel. Let's put us off the track into the wall. We've lost our front wing. We have lost our front wing with Sebastian Vettel. Bit impatient there. We got too close to Sebastian Vettel. That was very much my fault as I tried the cutback move. Got very close with Sebastian Vettel and put myself into him, which put me into the wall, and that means we have to make an early pit stop for a new set of tyres and a front wing. Daniil Ricciardo came in on that same lap, so that is why the team are so slow at changing the front wing. They didn't have it ready because they were too busy with Daniil Ricciardo's pit stop, and that's 11-second pit stop. That's making it even worse that we've lost so much time to the drivers that we were battling with. We were running first in this Grand Prix in the early stages, then a collision with Nico Rosberg put us behind a train of cars, and now we are down into P12, possibly even P13. Yes, as Nico Hülkenberg gets past us for P12. Now we're coming up to lap 28 on these prime tyres, which I did not feel comfortable with as we get a move there on, I believe it was Felipe Nasr and Carlos Sainz Jr., as they were both in the pit lane on lap 28, as we're now coming out of the corner. We just can't get these prime tyres to work, so we're running wide in towards turn 3, but we're right behind Nico Hülkenberg now. Going towards the last part of this track. Maybe go up the inside of this left-hander. Yes, we do, as Nico Hülkenberg gives us the room. A fairly easy move there, but he will get the DRS and the slipstream down this straight if he is close enough, but it doesn't look like it. As we look in the mirrors, and he is miles behind us, almost like a second behind us, as we run wide yet again, and we've lost it. These tyres really failing to work. I had so much oversteer there. A bit of understeer on that corner, but earlier and later in the race, I have so much oversteer, as you will see soon. Now going in towards the penultimate corner, we have Felipe Nasr behind us in the Sauber. He's managed to catch up thanks to our error. Will we go back up the inside in towards the final corner? Looks like he will. Yes, he does. So Felipe Nasr, who we were battling with in Australia, if you have watched that video and you remember, we were battling with Felipe Nasr in the last episode, as we lose the car yet again with oversteer with these tyres, and that puts us facing the wrong way. We're going to have to turn around, and that's going to allow this train of cars that's behind us to catch up, as we've got Max Verstappen, it is, going for the overtake, and now we have Carlos Sainz Jr. and a couple of other cars behind us. We'll hopefully get the car going before they get past, and looks like we are up to speed now, and they aren't going to get past us in the next couple of corners. But now we've got to try catch up to Max Verstappen and even go for the overtake, but I was hoping to try and make these tyres last to the end of the Grand Prix, but I don't think that's going to happen, just because the amount of oversteer that I've been having and understeer. I'm just getting understeer in corners where I don't want it, and then on acceleration I'm getting so much oversteer. As we go for an overtake on Max Verstappen, where we've made a move so many times this race, but he will get the drive back on us. He'll get the DRS. No, we get the DRS there. No DRS for Max Verstappen, so that is all slipstream in the Toro Rosso. Now we're going to try and move up the inside to the final corner. Looks like we are. Yes, we do. So we are up into P11. Max Verstappen will just have to settle behind us for now. Looks like we've actually got a better drive out of the corner than him, so I don't think he's going to be challenging into turn 1. No, my mistake. Now he's coming back at us, and now he's going up the inside in towards turn 1. Now we're going to try it round the outside of Max Verstappen. No, we don't. We're just not close enough, so we're going to tuck behind him. won't try the cutback too much because it didn't work. Yes, we do. We actually did try the cutback there and got very close to Max Verstappen for the overtake, but just not enough drive in this Red Bull car, as we're now going to try around the outside of this right-hand corner. Yes, we do. Round the outside of Max Verstappen here, have the inside line. And he just doesn't give us the room like Nico Rosberg did earlier in the race. But this time, the other driver comes out with the deficit, and he has put himself into the spin. You can't really see what happened there, so hopefully we're getting on board of what happened with Max Verstappen. So, there we go, round the inside. This is me going round the outside of Max Verstappen, and he just drifts out wide, goes into the side of us, and the side pod glitch puts him into a spin as we're up into P11. But now Carlos Sainz is going past us to retake P11 for his teammate, and we're just going to have to settle behind him for the time being, as it looked like there was a car ahead of us, and it looked like a red car. I'm not sure if it was a Ferrari, but it could have been a Mano Marussia though. And an excellent cutback move there on Carlos Sainz Jr. I don't know how it happened, how I managed to get a better drive out of that corner where I've been struggling so far this race, but we managed to get a better drive out of the corner on Carlos Sainz Jr. and make the move stick. So we're now right behind Jenson Button on lap 40. I believe I'm going to be coming in for a pit stop on this lap though. Yes, I am. So going on to the option tyres. I probably could have made these tyres last till the end of the race, but the oversteer was just too much for me to handle, and I just wanted to get off them because they were just the worst tyre to be on at the moment. I just needed to get onto the option tyres and then start pushing them to try and catch up and get into the points. But here we go. The pit stop on board with the Red Bull boys, and it's a 2.4 second pit stop. Very nice there from Red Bull. Now up next for us is Felipe Nasr. I believe Carlos Sainz, I think, came into the pits as well. We're still remaining in P10, but now going down into P11. And there's a Mano Marussia getting back past us. We're going to have to overtake Mano Marussia. We're going to have to relap him. And then I believe it's Nico Hulkenberg that's just that car ahead of him. So a couple of overtakes that we need to make in order to get back up into the points. There's 19 runners left in this race. I'm not sure who the driver who has DNF'd, but we're now right behind Roman Grosjean. I believe he pitted, so that's how Nico Hulkenberg got past him, as we're going to go for the overtake up the inside on these faster tyres, and that's up into P9. Up next for us is Felipe Nasr, who I believe Nico Hulkenberg also got past through them pit stopping. And Felipe Nasr is coming round the final corner now, as we run it just a little bit wide into the final corner. That will allow Roman Grosjean to catch up just a little bit, but he's still far too far behind, as we're right behind Felipe Nasr for 8th position in this Grand Prix, going round the outside and then the inside of this right-hander, and that is us up into P8 for the time being. Felipe Nasr is right behind us though, so he could come back at us anytime soon, going in towards this double right-hander now, but it doesn't look like he does it. So up next for us, no, it is this Felipe Nasr on our inside? Yes, so he does come back at us on the very next lap. Felipe Nasr comes back up the inside of turn 1. We're going to try the cutback on him though. As we go round the outside in towards turn 2. No, we don't. So Felipe Nasr just pins us off there, and that means that we can't get past him in towards turn 2. But we're just going to have to try and catch up in towards the braking zone of this next corner, which we do absolutely massively on Felipe Nasr. Now can we get a move in this left-right-hander combination? Yes, we do. Round the outside of the left-hander. That makes it an easy move in towards the second part of that corner, and we are back up into P8. We've got to try hunt down Jenson Button though, who is in P7, going in towards the double right-hander. Will Felipe Nasr come back us anytime soon? No, he doesn't, as we're on lap 49. Right on the back of Jenson Button, going up the inside. We actually make contact with Jenson Button. That puts us in across the track. Obviously a warning for collision with Jenson Button. That was definitely our fault, but we're getting lapped by Nico Rosberg anyway. The guy who we were battling with in lap, up until lap 12, I believe it was. And now going for a fairly easy move on Jenson Button after he let Nico Rosberg through. But we have overshot the last corner. That will allow Jenson Button to come back at us, but no, he doesn't, because we are on fresher option tyres than him. So lap 50 now. Let's see who's up next. It's Valtteri Bottas, but I believe he is quite a bit behind. Yes, he is. So the last lap, Nico Rosberg is our race winner for the Malaysian Grand Prix, coming round the final corner here to get P7. Disappointing start to the race, a few collisions, and definitely could have done better, but P7 has come back is a good result for us. A fantastic race though, with all the overtakes.
That's the end of this weekend's Grand Prix, and it's Nico Rosberg who takes the victory and now leads the Drivers' World Championship.
It must be a great feeling for Nico to be sitting at the top of the table. He's always been a strong driver, but with this car, he has a great chance of finally winning the Drivers' World Championship title.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
There we have it. Nico Rosberg wins the Malaysian Grand Prix with Kimi Raikkonen coming home in second and Sebastian Vettel in third. Daniil Ricciardo finishes the race in fourth. The gap to the other drivers was like 1:11 seconds, so that is a massive gap to the leaders. Felipe Massa finishes in fifth with Valtteri Bottas sixth. We come home in seventh, so a good comeback race and the first of the lap drivers with Roman Grosjean in eighth. Jenson Button is in ninth, and Felipe Nasr finishes the race in 10th. Let's have a look at where this puts us in the drivers' standings. So there we go, in the drivers' standings, getting our first points of the season. That puts us up into 9th and hopefully start to improve from there. 6 points is not a lot, but it's still points on the board. Nico Rosberg, the championship leader, is on 43 at the moment. I believe Lewis Hamilton DNF'd this race in Malaysia, so that's why he is so far down and he didn't get any points. So let's have a look at how this affects us in the constructors' standings. In the constructors' standings, we remain in 4th position. We're now on 26 points, so Daniil Ricciardo getting 20 and us getting 6 points. Hopefully give him more of a fight this season. But thank you very much for watching this Malaysian video, and I hope to see you next time when we are in China. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.